I think that there is a genocide happening in Gaza.
I don't blame Israel for trying to get back their people that Hamas unrightfully took.
We can open this up and say that there have been acts of genocide on both sides. It might not necessarily, I'm changing my opinion here. It might not necessarily be a genocide because I'd have to do more research and see what constitutes a genocide. Because at the end of the day, I don't know.
We're here at Penn State University to see if liberal and conservative students can find real common ground.
Every round they succeed, they add $20 to the pot. But wait, at the end, there is a twist. Let's do something.
So the claim is there is a genocide in Gaza.
Do you want to start?
I'd love to hear your thing since I subbed it, yeah.
I think that there is a genocide happening in Gaza. There have been so many people killed just because they were Palestinian by the Israeli government as a retaliation on Hamas. And I think if you look at the landscape architecture of the region and you look at the just how the region has shifted over the past 3 years and how Palestinian land has significantly decreased. I think that is a large part of genocide, of taking of the land. Oh gosh, there's a quote that I don't remember who said it and I don't remember where it's from, but it was like it was a book I read about how one stage of genocide is making it so that the people have nowhere to go. So yeah.
I do not believe there's a genocide going on in Gaza. Hamas, they're a very unique terrorist group where they do hide behind their civilians. It's found before, and there's been multiple, not just the IDF confirming, but multiple different governments confirming that Hamas hides their weapons in hospitals. They hide their bombs in schools. They hide in homes and everything. The IDF has also there's been proven facts of the IDF dropping leaflets saying no Hamas, and as they're leaving the area so that they don't unfortunately get bombed, Hamas stops them because Hamas, they don't care about their own people.
Yeah.
They hide behind their people. Their whole goal is, we don't care about people, we don't care how many of our people will die as long as we can eventually get to the eradication of the state of Israel. And as long as we can get murder and get rid of every Jewish person in this land, then that's our biggest mission and goal. Hamas recruits children from the age of 12 to 14 to serve in their military. I don't think that's something where they care about their own civilians. I think war is absolutely horrifying, and it's sad and it's unfortunate people lose their lives. I think we can both agree on that, that any human life is a tragedy. But when does it get to a point that Israel needs to care more about their people? Hamas doesn't even care about their own people.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think on that part, it's kind of an unintentional genocide where, Israel is trying to get rid of Hamas. And Hamas say they represent the Palestinian people, but they really don't.
I think we can agree with that.
I think we can fully agree with that. And so, I think the Israeli government is doing what they can to try to stop Hamas. And, by proxy, Palestinian people are dying. And Hamas is a Palestinian terrorist organization. And, Israel is going after Palestinians. And so I think that is where the issue with the genocide lies for me.
So for you, are you saying that because they're targeting Hamas and Hamas happens to be Palestinians, that in itself makes it a genocide?
I think that is part of it, where it comes from. And then also, just like I said, the land grab issue of it.
Land grab in where? The West Bank and
the West Bank
Gaza
and in the
Strip.
Gaza Strip, where, Palestinians are being pushed out of their home. But also, this is such a hazy area, which we can talk about forever, the land settlement and the land claims, which I think, honestly, this whole issue goes back to the UN's own fault with the Balfour Declaration back in the
I think we can agree the British screw everything up. I think the West Bank and Gaza are two very different worlds and very nuanced. I think land settlements, maybe more what you're talking about, is more West Bank.
Stop! What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Would you be able to find common ground on this topic?
Let us know down in the comment section below. Now back to the video.
Israel evacuated Gaza in 2005, and they took every Jew that was in Gaza, had them completely take everything from their homes, leave their houses behind, their agriculture behind, their farms behind, and they gave it to the Palestinian people in Gaza, and they told them, make a country, make a people, make a government, make something that's like valuable. They then instead took that money and Hamas was formed, and the current RGC in Iran funds them and multiple other proxies in the Middle East. So for me, I think if anything, Israel's helping the Palestinian people by eradicating Hamas. I can sympathize with Israel. I don't think Israel started this war. I think I would have a lot more respect for Hamas maybe if they went in on October 7th and they targeted military bases. They went in and they took civilians, they raped women, they murdered, annihilated children. I've been to Niros and like the kibbutzim that were attacked severely on October 7th. It was massacres. They burned people alive. I don't blame Israel for trying to get back their people that Hamas unrightfully took.
I think we could both agree that, you know, on both sides of this war, since the start, it's, you know, it's been kind of hazy, which is where this fight has come from. And, you know, the killing of people is the killing of innocent civilians is unjust and shouldn't be happening. And I honestly, like, I think you could argue genocide for either side, where Hamas is trying to create a genocide of the Israeli people. Because, you know, from what you just said, they went in and they killed civilians for the sole purpose of wanting to kill Israeli citizens.
Yeah, their goal was to meet up with Hezbollah from the north and shake hands in Tel Aviv and say, we took over Israel.
So I think, you know, they're a terrible organization and they do not represent the people of Palestine. And I think, you know, we can open this up and say that there have been acts of genocide on both sides. It might not necessarily, I'm changing my opinion here. It might not necessarily be a genocide because I'd have to do more research and see what constitutes a genocide. Because at the end of the day, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's where my problem with a lot of like things right now about the war and like that are going on, the conversations going on in America about it, is that if we water down the word genocide, we're taking away from an action that is so inhumane and unjust. This is just war, and it sucks. War isn't pretty. War isn't supposed to be something that you can post on your Instagram story and it's like pretty to look at. It's horrible, it's bloody, it's rough.
Yeah.
But if you constitute all war with genocide, then I think that takes away from the suffering of people that have actually gone through genocides to constitute that with just the casualties and things that happened during wartime.
I think that genocide has become a buzzword where people, you know, there's a mass killing of a group of people and, you know, it has come from Americans where, you know, we see, oh yeah, these people have been killed. It's a genocide. And, you know, oh, these people started it. Oh, these people started it. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I think it's really due to the fact that there's so much misinformation.
I agree.
And there's such a lack of education as a basis for people where they're like, oh, I saw this on the internet. I saw it on Instagram. So I'm going to repost it and I'm going to say, I believe this. Or like, oh, I have a friend who, you know, like has this opinion and because I know them and they're my friend, I'm going to share the opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there is truly a lack of people getting educated.
Agreed.
And having these conversations.
Yeah.
Oof, that was a great conversation.
That was a great conversation. And if you enjoy great conversations just like these, subscribe to our channel.
Let's do something.